So did you find it eventually, your lottery ticket?
Well, yes, thank goodness we caught the coach on time after all. We managed to see St. Paul's, the Tower, but they weren't letting anyone into Parliament. Some big debate going on.
John?
Sorry, you're busy.
No, they were just leaving.
Oh,
Yes.
No, if you've got a case.
No, not a case, no. Go,
yeah, well,
go.
we're here on Saturday,
Yes,
remember?
great, wonderful. Just
Yeah,
get
well,
out.
give us
Very
a
nice,
ring.
yes, good. Get out.
I can't tell you how glad we are, Sherlock. All that time, people thinking the worst of you. We're just so pleased it's all over.
Ring up more often, won't you?
Get off your feet.
Promise.
Promise.
Was that his parents?
Sorry about that. No, that's fine. Clients?
Oh, baby.
Your parents? Those were your parents?
Yes.
Well, that is not what I...
What?
Me neither.
I mean, they're just
Normal.
so... ordinary.
And they had two boys with incredibly high IQ.
Did they know too? That you spent the last 2 years playing hide and seek?
Maybe.
So that's why they weren't at the funeral.
Sorry again.
He means it. It's sad though that he didn't trust him enough to tell
Turned
him.
it off then.
Had to be real, I guess.
Wasn't working for me. Last night, who did that? And why did they target me?
I don't know.
Is it someone trying to get to you through me? Is it something to do with this terrorist thing you talked about?
I don't know. I can't see the pattern. It's too nebulous. Why would an agent give his life to tell us something incredibly insignificant? That's what's strange.
Give his life.
According to Mycroft, there's an underground network planning an attack on London. That's all we know.
The IRA have been getting restless again. Maybe they're going to make an appearance.
Yes! I've been an idiot, a blind idiot!
What? What do you mean?
Not an underground network, John. It's an underground network.
Right.
It's under
What? Sometimes it's
the train
some days it's
station.
so you can't see it even when it's staring you in the face. Look, 7 carriages leave Westminster. And only 6 carriages arrive at St James's Park. The driver must have diverted the train and then detached the last carriage.
Detached it where? You said there was nothing between those stations.
On the maps, once you eliminate all the other factors, the only thing remaining must be the truth. That carriage vanished, so it must be somewhere.
There was a station down there
Well, why was it on the maps?
because it was closed before it ever opened.
What?
They built the platforms, even the staircases, but it all got tied up in legal disputes, so they never built the station on the surface.
It's right underneath the Palace of Westminster.
What's always down there? A bomb? Oh.
how easy it is to fall back into patterns. Seriously though, they must have nerves of steel, because can you imagine going into a place like this? You don't know what you're gonna find, you don't know what you're gonna face.
Well, John's a former army soldier,
Sherlock
so
is
it's
just...
been probably way worse.
Sherlock
and
is Sherlock.
just curious about the case.
Where is it now? Now stop it!
It's empty. There's nothing.
Or is there? In the seats! Oh,
Stop carrying explosives. The whole compartment is the bomb.
careful! They don't have time. They don't have time.
Nope.
So what do we do?
I have no idea.
Oh,
We'll think of something.
yeah.
Why do you think I know what to do?
And because you're Sherlock Holmes, you're as clever as it gets.
Doesn't mean I know how to defuse a giant bomb. What about you?
I wasn't in bomb disposal. I'm a bloody doctor.
And a soldier, as you keep reminding us all.
Can't we rip the timer off or something?
That would set it off.
You see, you know things.
Oh.
He's questioning his capabilities. Oh, they have 2 minutes and a half to defuse it.
He might be a brilliant genius, but like he said, doesn't mean that he knows how to do some of the... Can I say do the worst in English?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, they know what you mean.
To turn down a bomb.
I can't do it, John.
Oh my God.
I don't know how.
What's gonna happen?
Forgive me. What? Please, John, forgive me. For all the hurt that I caused you.
No. This is a trick.
No.
Another one of your bloody tricks.
Oh.
You're just trying to make me say something nice.
What if?
This time.
It's just to make you look good even though you behave like...
John's gonna think about something, please. Oh my goodness.
He has to say something good. Be nice.
I wanted you not to be dead.
Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for.
You were the best and the wisest man that I have ever known.
Goodness.
Yes, of course. I forgive you.
Oh, now defuse the bomb.
No.
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 The criminal network Moriarty headed was vast. Its roots were everywhere like a cancer, so he came up with a plan. Mycroft fed Moriarty information about me. Moriarty, in turn, gave us hints, just hints as to the extent of his web. I had to make him believe he'd beaten me, utterly defeated me. And
That
then
was
chose.
so long. That was a long
There
time
were 13
coming.
likely scenarios once we were up on that roof. Each of them were rigorously worked out and given a code name.
That was the
Then
plan.
everyone got to work.
They were so prepared. I didn't even know, like, what's mind-blowing is that they were preparing this from the time Moriarty was captured.
It was vital that John stayed just where I put him. That way his view was blocked by the ambulance station.
Yep.
Sherlock!
Because otherwise he would have seen the Okay. That makes sense.
So that's the sound that we
The
heard.
airbag, which I did. Speed was paramount. The airbag needed to be gone out of the way just as John cleared the station. But we needed him to see a body. That's when Molly came in. Like figures on a weather clock, we went one way, John went the other.
Oh, this is so cool.
Our well-timed cyclist put John briefly out of action, giving me time to switch places with the corpse on the pavement.
Oh, okay. And he was too out of it to notice anything else, so...
Yeah.
He's my friend. Not the way I'd have done it.
Oh, really?
No, I'm not saying it's not clever, but
What?
bit disappointed.
Too much a critic. Anyway, that's not why I came.
No?
How I did it by Jack the Ripper.
Didn't you think it was intriguing?
Lurid. A case so sensational you hoped I'd be interested.
Yeah.
You ever did it, Philip? You and your little fan club?
He made a case to bring him out of hiding.
Everything's okay now, isn't it? That doesn't make sense. How could you be sure John would stand on that exact spot? I mean, what if he'd moved? And how did he do it all so quickly? What if the bike hadn't hit him? And anyway, why are you telling me all this? If you'd pull that off, I'm the last person you'd tell the truth. Ugh.
He's gone crazy. I think he really took personally the last episode when they were saying that Sherlock always has one over them. Like he you know, solves cases and they're always left behind. Trying to do his job is not that easy.
Why are you laughing?
What? Turn it off!
You!
Your face!
Utter!
Your face!
You!
Fuck off!
Totally
Fuck
Andy.
off!
Cock! I knew it! I knew it!
You said such sweet things. I never knew you cared.
You know, I will kill you if you ever breathe a word of this
Scats on it.
to anyone you knew!
And you did call the police.
I call the police.
Of course.
I'm definitely going to kill you.
Oh, please.
He would deserve it.
That's so 2 years ago.
Oh, he loves him.
I love the break room, seriously.
He's so cool. Oh my god. I wondered if he was crazy enough to make him, really think he was about to die. Turns out he is.
Why did they try and kill me? If they knew you were onto them, why come after me? Put me in the bonfire.
I don't know. I don't like not knowing. But I will find out, I promise you.
Don't pretend you're not enjoying this. Being back. Being a hero again.
No, don't be stupid.
You'd have to be an idiot not to see it. You love it.
Love what?
Being Sherlock Holmes?
I even know what that's supposed to mean.
You don't?
Anyway, time to go and be Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, he likes it so much. Oh, the freaking hat! Needs to play the persona.
Well, the media are there, of course.
Welcome back! It's a totally different crowd from last episode. Whew.
I think he really missed being Sherlock Holmes.
Wait, we need to set up the season. Who's the guy?
I don't know.
Of course we won't know. We won't know for a while. I'm so happy that this is back. I know it's been like a week for us, but I don't care. Every time it's an adventure, it's a trip, and I was really excited to see how his old coming back was gonna go. We knew for sure that John was not gonna take this
Let's be honest
nicely.
for a moment, though. The Sherlock Murray way of him surviving the fall was way better.
But we don't know. I don't think we'll ever know what actually or precisely went on, because the other guy has a point. Like, if he was to say to anyone how we did it, this guy would be the last he would tell it to. So we can't know for sure, but I do think that it makes sense.
I don't think that this way of doing it is not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's,
be honest.
to me, that's probably the one that makes the most sense. And I feel like the other guy is putting himself into this crazy, like, whirlwind of theories by himself. You know, he doesn't need Sherlock to lie to him. He could have lied to him, but it's almost like, I'm telling you the truth, but now you're gonna go crazy on your own. So,
Yeah.
Because he's always gonna try to push through. Like, it's kind of funny and also a bit sad to see how far gone he is now. But he was also the jerk that turned on Sherlock last episode, and he's always been, on his back about stuff. Him and the other cop, the girl, I don't know her name, but that other cop, they're always, on his back about stuff. And it's crazy. It's funny because now he's trying to do Sherlock's job, deduce how stuff could have gone on, and he's basically going crazy with all the theories, but that's Sherlock's job.
Wait, that was Anderson?
Yeah?
That was Anderson?
You didn't recognize him?
No! Oh, God!
You went the entire episode without knowing who this guy
I didn't
was?
recognize it was Anderson!
It's the beard. It's because of the beard, probably. But
Shit.
yeah, that's why the other guy, what's his name? Sherlock's friend, the detective.
Donovan?
Yeah, you sure?
Donovan, yeah. Sally Donovan.
That's not the girl?
That wasn't the girl.
Anyway, the detective, he's like, you feel guilty, even in the short video, like, now you feel guilty because you put him through hell because you didn't believe him, because of what you said, he killed himself. You feel guilty. And he's like, I'm sorry, stuff like that. Yeah, that was...
Shit!
Well...
I really did not recognize him.
But yeah, now I think he did feel guilty, and he refused to believe that he had pushed someone towards suicide, so he really tried to understand how he could have survived. And now that he's been proven right, like, yes, he did survive, he's trying so hard to find the truth.
Yeah.
And he cannot accept what Sherlock told him, so... It's just funny.
Concerning Moriarty, though, I'm a bit disappointed because the way that Sherlock explained, yet again, we don't know that if all of that is true, but the way it explained that him and his brother kind of cornered Moriarty and just were already a step ahead of him.
Yeah.
It's just like
it kind of lessened his
taking off
genius a
even
little bit.
all of his genius, yeah.
Don't forget though that it's, I mean, yes, Moriarty is extremely intelligent, but let's not forget that Sherlock and Mycroft working together, that's also a huge force to go against. Like, they're not, Sherlock alone, I don't know,
I could have understand at the end of the story that they work together and they
this is exactly what
won
he did.
over him, but from the beginning, all of those years ago.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not that surprised. It doesn't mean, it's not because they guessed what was going to happen that they could have evaded the story. Even in the end, like, he did say, Moriarty surprised me because I underestimated how far he was willing to go. He killed himself, and that was a genuine reaction. Like, Sherlock just going, what the fuck? That was totally genuine because he didn't expect Moriarty to go that far.
Yeah.
So he underestimated him. So in the end, who's the winner, you know? I would say, since Sherlock survived, and his reputation is clean, and everything is back to normal, that would make him the winner, but Moriarty came pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And he did surprise him.
He did.
He played with him for a while, and I mean, I don't think him dying is considered a loss for him because he just wanted to have fun, and no one could give him that, you know? So I don't think he was happy in his own world, so I'm gonna be sad to see him go, though. Sure. He was such a great character, and just the relation, not the relationship, but the dynamic between him and Sherlock was just so crazy. But we'll let him go. It was nice to have him. Now we have a new villain that was introduced.
We don't know his name yet, but we're gonna learn soon enough.
Like, first episode, and he already did something that Sherlock can't explain. Because, I mean, if he was one of the terrorists and he was just trying to go at Sherlock because he was onto them, that doesn't explain why they put Watson in that pyre. Yes, he is Sherlock's weakness, but then what was the point of doing that? We don't know. It's too random. So I'm like, what's his deal? Could it be that he wants to he wanted maybe to observe Sherlock's weakness, just see how he would react, how far he was willing to go for his friend? Because that's, I don't like to say that's his weakness, but usually that's how people take advantage of Sherlock, using his friends, using his emotions. He likes to say that he doesn't have any, but he does. And in this episode, that was crazy. That was crazy how he changed. I know he was manipulating Watson at the end, but there was so much wow, there was so much emotions in so many scenes in this episode. So much honesty, yeah. And I mean, I feel like, you know, when he was doing his battle with Mycroft, deduction battle, and obviously Mycroft could read into this better than Sherlock. Like, a couple of times you could see Sherlock was really angry, like, what the hell, man? And he was trying to have another one after for
his brother.
Yeah, but usually Mycroft came out on top, and he did say he always wins at these games. But when he mentioned emotions, that turned, like, Mycroft was like, what are you talking about? Like, he doesn't understand emotion, or he doesn't want to let himself understand emotions. And I feel like Sherlock was like that before, but because of Watson, he slowly started to try and understand that side of things, you know, just humanity, you know, emotions, reactions, and just have more empathy, and that could be an asset. Because if you don't, I mean, you know, I know usually he makes do.
That is a clue why he's not a high-functioning sociopath, because he does not have empathy.
Well, I mean, the more it goes, you know, someone actually, one of you guys commented recently on one of our first videos in Sherlock, I think it was the very first one, and you said that you had looked into a lot of mental issues and stuff, and we had said in the first episode, I thought he was autistic. And you said that that's what you thought as well. Like, I'm talking to you directly, but someone mentioned that autistic might be the actual answer here. Yeah. I feel like he's not a sociopath. That's how he describes himself, but I feel like autistic makes more sense. So, Yeah. Anyway, but I feel like, yes, him understanding emotions might be an asset in the future. That's why him and Watson together are such a great team. Watson is the human version of Sherlock, and Sherlock is the brain version of himself.
He's a computer version of himself.
Yeah.
Well, Molly didn't really move on.
Poor girl. Oh, but she did
Well,
get...
at least he's not gay. And he's not a high evil genius criminal too.
That, I mean, anything is better than Moriarty at this point, but Sherlock at least is not destroying him like he did before. Like, that's how he changed. I feel like he's acknowledged that he cares about a couple of people, and he doesn't want to hurt them anymore. He did say thank you. True. He did try to understand, like he did say, I'm glad you're getting married, I'm glad you're moving on. And when he noticed that she did not move on, yeah, and then when he noticed that she did not move on and that the guy really is like a clone of Sherlock, he just like, not saying anything, let's move on. Because he doesn't want to hurt her.
Well, she didn't move on, but maybe the Sherlockish look is her type, huh?
That's not a type, that's an obsession. But anyway, and I mean, he obviously cares about Watson, like we've seen.
That would be an obsession if you ask him to insult me, say that I'm brainless, that I'm stupid. That would be an obsession then.
I mean, it's not an obsession, but it's pretty damn close. The whole revealing yourself to your friends, that was so cool. Like, he tried to play with Watson a little bit, but I mean, he was genuinely expecting a happy reaction. He wanted to be like, surprise!
Yeah, but it hurt him so much
that was so funny.
No, Sherlock, you cannot have a hug from Watson.
But
after years of passing for dead.
I feel like because they were so close, that's why out of everyone else, he's the one that reacted like this the most. I feel like the detective expected him to do something crazy like that, so that's why he was like, you bastard! But then went in for the hug. Mrs. Hudson, she just, I mean, she thought he was a ghost, but she's so happy to have him back.
Yeah, he's like a son for her.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I feel like Watson was so close to Sherlock that he expected him to at least tell him that something was going on, or that he had a plan. Especially knowing that he told his brother, that Molly was aware, that his parents knew. Like, he's like, why, you don't like me enough? Like, you don't respect me and trust me enough to tell me? That one, I understand why it hurt. Because that's the only reason he gave him. I didn't tell you because I expected you to maybe say something eventually, and I couldn't live with that. Like, that could not happen. So he's like, what, you didn't trust me, but you trusted everyone else?
Yeah.
That one.
Molly, Mycroft, his parents, and 34...
His parents, by the way.
34 homeless person.
Yeah, 25, I think
34.
he said. I think he said 25, I don't remember, but anyway. And his parents, by the way, that was so... I thought for sure they were clients. I'm like, okay. And he doesn't care. Oh, this is so funny. And they're so normal.
Yeah, didn't expect them to be just ordinary people.
And what's more, I mean, it's crazy because looking at them being so normal and then knowing that both their sons ended up so intelligent and so, like, different. What happened? What sort of gene is that? Anyway, that was nice to see them. I like that they visited him because, of course, he just came back from the dead, so this is cool. I of course, Mycroft had to know.
Son. Oh, great that you're back.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like they were grieving because they knew he was alive. And when you said, by the way, like, oh, he didn't tell Watson because it had to be believable, I'm like, yeah, his parents were not at the funeral, so it's not believable. Something happened, something went on, so it really was because...
Mycroft wasn't at the funeral either.
Yeah. I don't know.
Too mundane.
Watson had to think he was dead. I don't know. I think I could say maybe he just if he'd never expected to come back to life, maybe he just wanted him to move on and not always, be on the lookout or just be nervous about Sherlock. Maybe he just wanted to give him a free start. But then we also know that he did expect to come back eventually. Like, that wasn't the plan for him to disappear forever. So, and especially his reaction when he came back and they were like, well, he moved on, he has a life. And he's like, what? Life? I wasn't there. I'm like, okay, so why Watson? Maybe he did.
No, he should have told him.
maybe it has something to do with just his character. It's not that he doesn't trust him, it's just that he expects him to be more open about stuff, and if he's not genuinely sad, people will notice, or if he says something, people will read into it because he was so close. So
maybe
it's just sad that he had to go through all of this, especially.
So we finally met Mary.
Yes, I mean, you were waiting for her a while back, like the first girlfriend he ever had.
I forgot what was her name in the movie, so I didn't remember if she was supposed to be the person like gonna be with Watson, but Mary.
I like her. I like her more in this than I did in the movie. And with Robert Downey Jr.
She's more nice.
I feel like she's more accepting of Sherlock. Like, she understands that he is a part of who Watson is. He is his partner. He is in his life. And he makes it more interesting for him.
Well, to be fair, though, he didn't insult her in this version.
True. That might change. That could change if she takes Watson away from the cases more. So far, she does not do that, and she has shown that a little bit of intelligence, so more than some people might have. So I think she has. Well, Sherlock has never really insulted any of Watson's girlfriends before, but
I think he did.
No, I don't remember him doing that. Well, I mean, yeah, the first
pretty
one.
Sure that he did.
He was a bit like repulsed by the first one's attempts to help him in this case. He was like, "You're not helping me, like, stop trying." He wasn't saying it, but his face clearly said it. But then she also pointed out really obvious stuff that he didn't see, so maybe he's more open to the possibility that not everyone is stupid. But yeah, I like her. So far, I like what I see. I think she really has Watson's best interest at heart, and she wasn't mad. I think when Sherlock showed up, she felt like, even though Watson was mad, that was the best thing that could have happened, because he was depressed. He was really down. Like, we saw him, he did say he was moving on, but we saw him in the subway. He was not ready to move on. He was still hung up on that. He was so down. As soon as Sherlock showed up, he showed emotion.
Oh.
So, and he shaved. Thank God. Thank God. Whew!
That mustache is gone and everything's returned to balance now.
Yes. There is so much to talk about in this episode, but this is
another really long discussion.
Yeah,
so I think we're just going to end there, guys.
I'm just going to say this. I'm really glad that Sherlock is showing a more humane side of his personality. And that he's also using this against Mycroft, too. Like, Mycroft could really do with a change of personality. He's afraid of feeling stuff, of having emotions, and making them the soul. I'm not making them, but letting them control his actions. He's afraid to let that happen, so he's closed off.
Well, for him, emotion are distraction and a weakness, so.
I like also the idea that maybe Mycroft is lonely, that he wants people around, but he doesn't let people around because he's different and he's afraid to be judged. It's crazy. And I mean, Sherlock also has the same problem, but he's found Watson, so.
He found a bunch of people, yeah.
Yep. So much happened this episode. Wow. Okay, we're gonna move on because, like you said, this conversation is already pretty long. Thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of season 3 with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it's already on Patreon. The link is in the description.
Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you want to watch it now. And if not, wait for the next one to go out on YouTube, guys.
Yes.
So see you there.
Bye.
Bye.